What an astounding place.
My mother told me about this place. She said that the village was devoured by the houses of the sons. How could their chief accept this?
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello, De Sarde. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I have to go.
Like...
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. De Sarde. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder how my people could accept the priest settling in their home like this.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
I am busy. If you have questions, go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas, I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us, or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Mateus later, but first we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack, but some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of St. Mateus. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you... Greetings, De Sarde. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here. And the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove St. Mateus lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia here, but my superior is Bishop Domitius. Our mission is to banish pagan cults and convert the entire population to the light. The island belongs to Saint Matthias, and therefore to Ptolemy, since the god of light offered it to our founder.
If your superior's Domitius, you are a member of the Ordo Luminis. I did not expect to find one of its members side by side with the missionaries. They usually do not get along.
The Order goes everywhere the light needs to be revealed.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. I doubt everyone accepts it. How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias. But they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye.
You have returned on Manawi. Do you need something else?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Ptolemy, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I have to go.
Lord.
I'm happy you came to find me. Allow me to apologize once again. I should have spoken to you sooner, told you what I knew, and not betrayed your trust.
Indeed, you should have.
As I said, I'd like to make up for it and help you find your family again.
How do you intend to do that?
As you now know, I knew your mother. We had trouble communicating at first, of course, but we gradually learned to understand one another. She was important in her village. Based on what I know today, I think she was a Donegad. She told me her name, Arelwyn, and told me about her family. She even gave me a pendant for you. You were only a child, so I gave it to Mrs. De Sade for safekeeping.
She gave me a necklace when I went to say goodbye to her. She said it was a family heirloom. Did my mother tell you the name of her village?
No. But I'm sure the Norts can help us. They were the ones who took your mother to the continent.
It was such a long time ago. How can I find out if they remember?
The Norts record everything down to the gentlest breeze. They must have written something in a logbook somewhere. So, do you want to try and find out where you come from? Do you want to find your relatives?
I still need time to think about it. It's all so new to me.
I understand. Come back and see me when you're ready.
What was your role at my uncle's court? Were you already an ambassador?
No. But I was part of the embassy. I had only just started my career as a diplomat back then. Taleme was hoping to convert the congregation, and they had sent me to spread the word. I tried to teach you some of the basics because you had a predisposition for magic, but you were so young. You preferred to run around the halls with a wooden sword in hand, chasing your cousin.
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Father,
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vigsenegad, which translates to the Village of the Old Sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There are no Onol Manawi and no warriors here either. Did they all leave?
Perfect harmony takes time, my child. I have no doubt that one day we will manage to convince your kind to convert. But, in the meantime, we must settle for the miracle of great coexistence that this place already represents. Nobody thought we could live side by side with your people. And yet...
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their...
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into two parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
Had they been wiser and accepted their new neighbors, they'd never have been forced to leave.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur. There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
This priest, Virgil, said that the night was calm. So calm that he probably fell asleep. So, the thieves only had to take the key from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
You think that the one who told them is in this village?
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
You have returned on Almanawi. Do you need something else?
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
I do not think they will hurt us. They want peace too, and violence would break it all.
I understand why you are no longer the chief, if you do not even know what the inhabitants of your village are doing.
You're right. I was indeed a bad chief. I couldn't even convince those who left to stay.
Since you do not want to talk, I will have to tell the Mother Cardinal to send the Ordo Luminus. The Inquisitors will make you confess the name of the person who helped the exiles.
You wouldn't do that. The Solasser would burn the entire village.
He's not really leaving me a choice. Right. Let's go back to San Mateus.
Wait! I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Like so many.
Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Bertia Tumad. Yes, that is me. What do you want?
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the mind shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
What can you tell me about Lair?
He is a man of but I almost...
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of Saint Mateus.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
The only means of alleviating the situation with Thélème is to give the priests their tablets back. So, if you don't want your son to suffer their wrath, it would be best if I could retrieve them discreetly.
Bran and the rest of the exiles are hiding in the woods, beyond the stone circle. If you want to take the tablets away from them without being seen, do not take the path on the left. It is riddled with traps. And please, do not hurt my son.
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's try not to fight them.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
Remember that we were told the area on the left was a trap. It would be smarter to take the other path.
There, we found them. Now all that's left to do is to return to Eden. What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
I think so. I managed to retrieve the tablets discreetly.
I am glad to hear that you managed to retrieve them. I will go talk to my son now. He needs to stop seeking revenge and find a new clan.
That would indeed be wiser. Vengeance has no positive repercussions.
May the trees always bear fruit for you on Almanawi. Ad Loreda for not injuring my son.
Don't mention it. I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you find.
Had you respected this village, you would not have to look for a culprit. You settled here without even asking those who lived here for their opinion on the matter. Instead of talking about harmony, start taking action to really make it happen.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
Have you thought about my offer? Do you want to go and find your real family?
Yes, I'm ready now.
So, we should go.
De Sarde, what can I do for you?
I have come to talk to you about a personal matter.
After what I revealed to you, I was sure you would come back to find me. What would you like to know?
You told me that I was born on one of your ships, of an islander captured on the island.
We'd like to know about this woman's origins.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I did not take part in those expeditions, and our old archives are far from here.
Is there no one on Tier 3D who can help us? Please.
Very well. I do know an old captain who could perhaps help you out.
Where can he be found?
His ship is moored in the port of Hikmet, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Captain Lissandro.
Thank you for your help, Admiral.
De Sarde?
Yes, Admiral?
Don't get too caught up in the past. That one in particular. Nothing good will come of it.
Whether or not we choose to get caught up in it, Admiral, the past always catches up with us. Sadly, I'm paying the price of this. Let us thank the enlightened that a captain who took part in these expeditions is right here on the island.
It is indeed a stroke of luck. I hope he remembers my mother.
Do not worry. If his memory fails him, he may have kept his diary from that time.
It's not possible just now. Hello there. My name is De Sade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lissandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd. Well, what can I do for you?
Admiral Cabral advised me to speak to you about a matter of some concern to me.
The Admiral? Coming from a legate, I should have expected that. So?
You are the only one on this island that can help me.
Really? Oh, I think I understand. That's why your face looked familiar. The congregation is good at keeping its secrets, isn't it? This story is not a new one.
25 years. 25 years since the Nauts brought a woman who was captured on this island to Serene.
I remember. And yet it wasn't the first time. But on that occasion, a child was born.
So you can understand why we'd like to learn where this captive came from.
Yes, yes. I have seen more than a few Nauts looking for their parents. But what have you got to do with all this?
I met that woman in Serene. I got to know her well.
Listen, it's not that I don't want to help you, but my memory is no longer what it was. I wasn't the captain at the time. I wasn't the one who decided where we moored the ship. So I don't see how I can help you find out where this woman came from.
Do you need a little gold to jog your memory?
You're quite the merchant, aren't you? But since you're asking so nicely, I do actually need a new sail.
I don't have that much on me. but it's not a problem. I can come back later with the full amount.
Go ahead. I'll wait here.
I have to go.
As you wish.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the Greetings. I was honored by your visit. Please come back whenever you want.
Hello, Captain.
Well now, what fair wind blows you into port? Listen, it's not that I don't want. I wasn't the captain, so I don't...
Do you need a little gold to jog your memory?
You're quite the merchant, aren't you? But since you're asking so nicely, I do actually need a new sail.
Here's your gold, Captain.
Perfect. My old boat thanks you. Very well. I need to look in my old logbooks. I'm sure I'll find something. Wait for me here. I'll be an hour at the most. Here it is. I found my old logbook. There's a passage in it that would probably interest you. Your mother came from a village on the plains in the southeast of the island. I'm talking about a place where the bones of the whale are visible from the coast. I believe the natives call it Vignamri.
Thank you for this information, Captain.
It's nothing. I'm getting sentimental in my old age. Good luck to you.
So here you are on the verge of discovering your mother's village, of finding your own people. How do you feel?
I don't really know. I'm a little lost, I suppose. All of this is so new to me.
I understand. Mrs. De Sade was loving. She raised you with tenderness. And today you learn she is not your real mother. I'm sorry.
Hello, Captain.
Well now, what fair wind blows you?
I have to go.
As you wish.
Hello, Captain.
Well now, what fair...
Did you know the island before all the colonists arrived?
Yes. Now that's going back a bit. And it isn't a topic for somebody who isn't one of our own.
So tell me what it was like when the Alliance first began to settle here.
It was still wild, dangerous, and very beautiful. But all that has changed now.
I have to go.
As you wish.
Come closer. All my wares are in the back garden.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri. Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Arelwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago, but I remember the village de Negad. Kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue. But it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved. It was a dark day, in which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
So my father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes. Slan, your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Arelwyn was a renowned healer across all of Tiafradi. Taking her place was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her powers.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me. But others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ulan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
What do you think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not the compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambitions. And this is often done at the expense of others.
Greetings.
There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find them.
The islanders protect their Donegada. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
Hello.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I'm looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ulan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ulan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ulan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much. But Ulan saved our village. Anyway, if you want to find her, try heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I'm extremely grateful.
Protect me in this battle! There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals. It looks like she may be in danger.
Let's go and help. It's got to be her.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Denegad of Vignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or rather, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
A Relwyn gave it to me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. De Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Relwyn, who died far away from us all, and divorced Tirce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do such a thing. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved Relwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were among us. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit of his mother. You are home, my Magum. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, to the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative, and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child, what you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good for once in my deceitful life. For you and for her. I hope the Enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.
Greenblood, my friend. The letter we found in Rolf's office was signed by a man whose name I'm familiar with. Herman. I know he's responsible for what happened in this camp, as well as many other crimes. I'm gonna find him and make him pay for what he's done. I know that he's in San Mateus.
This quest for revenge isn't only about what happened to Raynor and the others, is it? Very well. You can count on me. What do you plan to do?
Major Herman is posted in San Mateus. He's part of the Red Sun Regiment now. He's loyal to Torsten, but kept his head down when the coup was dismantled.
Isn't denouncing him enough? He'll be put to death for high treason.
The Guard's reputation has suffered enough from Torsten's scheming. And he has connections in high places. I'm sure he has many supporters.
What are you getting at? Are you going to kill him yourself? If he's well connected, the Mother Cardinal will surely hear about it, and I doubt she'd be pleased.
I know. That's the whole problem. We need to get rid of him without anyone finding out.
If Petrus were here, he would probably tell us to do the exact opposite.
That old fox is as sly as ever. But I don't see what you're getting at.
There's a group in San Mateus that could make someone disappear in broad daylight, without anyone saying anything about it.
Those mad Inquisitors.
Exactly. It might not be easy to convince our good friend Aloysius, but it's worth a try.
You're right. And if we bring Petrus, he will surely help us sway the Inquisitor. I must say, this is a horrid solution. But if anyone deserves it, it's that bastard Herman. We'll need to find him, though. And he's been keeping a low profile since the coup failed.
And we've already seen to what extent the law of silence has on the Guard.
We need help. Our new commander might be able to tell us who to turn to. She knows everybody.
All right then. Agreed. Let's start by going to see her. Hello, Commander.
Lord De Sarde. And Kurt, I believe I should be thanking you for my nomination.
It is your upright and honorable nature that won you this post, not I. Perhaps sometime in the future you'll curse me for having suggested your name.
I hope not. How can I be of service to you?
You seem to know Kurt well.
If you're expecting her to tell you some nasty little secrets, it might be best if I head away.
Don't say such silly things, Kurt. You know I only have good things to say about you. We have known each other a long time, and we have fought together. I think we have been brought closer by the ideals of the Guard. A mercenary guild, certainly, but for whom honor and loyalty are not empty words. Some would tell you that we're past it, that our vision is too naive and idealistic. Perhaps that's true. But I do not mind fighting and risking my life for what I believe is right. Kurt, too. Anything else?
We are here to talk to you about a document we found in the training camp.
A letter, signed by Major Herman. He's behind all of this, Sieglinder.
Herman. Kurt, this is personal now. When will this story be finished? I could court-martial him, but you know how much certain people support him.
I know. He'd probably get away with it. Everyone loves the heroic Major. No, we thought of another way. The Ordo Luminis.
You want to have them burned as heretics?
If he'd been caught as Torsten's accomplice, he would have been drawn and quartered. Do you think that's any less painful?
I don't know if you came to look for my help or my blessing. You have both. But promise me that you'll stop seeking vengeance after this.
You have my word. We just need your help to find Herman. He's been hiding since the failed coup.
And you need help in the San Mateus barracks. Talk to the corporal in charge of the prisons. I know him well. He's loyal. He's from the old school. If he can help you, he will.
It seems to me that the Ordo Luminous keeps its prisoners in the prisons of the Guard.
In fact, if you want to avoid drawing too much attention to yourself, you could bring Herman there directly. I'll write you a letter for the corporal. Here you go.
Thank you for doing this for me, Sieglinde.
You're welcome. And don't forget your promise, Kurt.
What do you want now?
We have come to discuss something that concerns you.
Really? I'm listening.
We would like to draw your attention to a man who has confessed to terrible crimes.
Has he professed heresy? Venerated one of the demonic creatures worshipped by the savages?
Not exactly. He's responsible for many deaths, and was one of Torsten's supporters.
Who, as you know, was planning to overthrow your governor and take her place.
These truly are crimes. But they have nothing to do with the Ordo Luminous. You should denounce this man to our governor. I'm sure she'll be happy to have him drawn and quartered. You should leave me now. Your lack of faith has already been proven in the past. I don't know why you even came to see me.
Calm now, Aloysius. Are you going to let this regrettable incident obscure your judgment?
Incident? You call the obvious lack of faith of your protégé and his behavior an incident?
A momentary error, nothing else. Which she largely made up for by denouncing the commander's plot. To think that without him, San Mateus would be in the hands of faithless, lawless mercenaries, and that we would no longer have any chance of guiding this island towards the light.
You always know how to shine the best light on the situation, don't you?
Yet you know that Father Petrus is right. I saved your city with the help of Kurt here, and all that we ask in return is that you help us deliver justice. The man we're here to speak to you about escaped punishment thanks to political support.
In a sense, it's ironic, isn't it, Petrus? But you're right. We have a debt towards you, and justice must be delivered. I can't have your man publicly arrested without raising too many questions. But if you arrange for him to come to one of our jails discreetly, I'll make sure justice is delivered. The felon will receive the punishment he deserves on behalf of the glorious enlightened.
May he always keep you in his divine blessing, Aloysius. You will soon find this man in your jail.
Anything else?
Nothing. It's all right.
Remember that the enlightened is always watching you.
A feast for the eyes, ladies and gentlemen, and it's free. Come and see me as soon as you have made your choice. You won't be disappointed. Of that I can assure.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Sir, Commander Zieglander wrote this letter to you.
I wasn't expecting that. Even though I never really liked the Major, the Commander is asking me to do all I can to assist you in your mission. So, what can I do for you?
We're looking for the Major. We know that he was posted here.
Yes, and officially he still is. But I haven't seen him for some time. Following the coup, he was probably expecting us to go after him. The only people he may have told about his hiding place are his lieutenants. Those two are his henchmen.
I see. Well, we'll just have to go and interrogate them.
If we bring him to you, can you make sure he ends up in an Ordo Luminis jail?
Do you want to condemn him to the stake? That's a bit extreme. Listen, I can lock him up, but you'll have to find a way to keep my men from seeing him.
Why is that?
All the guards in the city know the Major. If they see him brought here, they'll want to know why. And they will surely take it out on the Inquisition, which could end badly.
You're not wrong, Corporal. What do you suggest?
If you bring me some sleeping potions, I could put the whole lot of them to sleep. When they wake up, they'll be ashamed of having slept through their watch. But that's better than spilling blood. Exactly. Come see me when you have enough. Anything else?
So you need sleeping potions?
Exactly. Anything else?
We should go.
Goodbye.
Closer. Don't hesitate. All of our Don't hesitate. Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing. hesitate. Don't hesitate to have a... Goodbye. May the Enlightenment always... Come closer. Don't hesitate. All of our products are...
Yes? What can I do for you?
So you need sleeping potions, is that right?
Yes, to put my men to sleep. That would seem the best way of doing it.
Perfect. And then?
When you have your man, let me know, and I'll do the rest. Anything else?
We should go.
Goodbye.
Now that everything is ready, we should go find these lieutenants.
You're far from your regiment, Captain. What do you want?
We're looking for Major Herman. I was told you'd know where to find him.
The Major? He must be on a mission somewhere.
Don't play dumb with me, Lieutenant. I'd be sorry to see you arrested as an accomplice.
Listen, Captain. We really don't know what you're talking about. As for your threats, you're not our superior. You're not part of our regiment.
Yet we're here with your new commander's blessing. The Major is accused of treason. You'd better tell us where to find him.
Lies. The Major is a righteous man. We'd give our lives for him.
Really? Let's see you do it.
Guards, help me!
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Come on! I'll take you.
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
So, are you finally ready to tell us where we can find Herman?
We'll never tell you anything.
Stop! You might be ready to die for him, but I'm not. He's in a warehouse, on the port.
The traitor is probably getting ready to leave the island. What do you want to do with these two, Kurd?
Lieutenants, you're under arrest for now. Go to the commander. She'll decide what to do with you.
At your orders, Captain.
Let's find the Major before he escapes.
Here he is!
What the... Kurt? It's been so long. How did you find me?
Does that really matter, Major? You're finally gonna pay for all your evil, your treachery, and your schemes.
Come with us, Major Herman.
If you think I'm gonna give up without a fight, you're wrong. Soldiers! Seize them!
Maybe protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
No. What?
You shouldn't be surprised. After all, I owe my talents to you.
Let's lock him up. The Inquisitor will do the rest. Kurt, are you all right?
Yes. Better than ever. You cannot even imagine how much I hated that piece of filth.
What did he do to you?
As you may have guessed, I suffered the same treatment as Raina. The only difference is that I survived, and there's even more. Believe me, I'm glad that these memories went up in flames along with that bastard. Thank you, Green Blood. Thank you for helping me as I go through all this. I'll never forget it.